Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. I'm your girl, Princess Leah 888, and this is your daily divine messages from Spirit, getting into our weekly wisdom for the week of May 25th. Happy Memorial Day for those who celebrate. And if you get the day off of rest and observance, may you enjoy this day off. You deserve it. And for those who we are remembering, may your spirits live in peace and love and through us all in the gracious, omnipresent divine. Amen. Ashe. So it's been a lovely, chill, relaxed Memorial Day for us. We did get to go check out the pools. If you get to check out the pools that are now opening, that's always exciting. And we have to time it wisely so it's not too crowded because my baby boy Indigo is very sensitive to energy, and too much too much energy is overstimulating for him. It's not as much loud noises as it is loud energy, loud people. And like just everyone's mixing and mingling, and I get that. We're working on finding that calm and that safety within ourselves, and both of us even just learning to release the social anxiety around it and find the beauty in everyone's diversity, and being able to still stay grounded and centered even amongst the collective energy that is all over the place. I think that's a daily practice for us all. So I honor his timing. Last night, yesterday, we tried to go towards the evening. It was a little bit too crowded. So we went this morning. It was a nice vibe. Nice vibe. So, what we're going to do today, if you are new to my channel, welcome, beloved. I am an intuitive artist and channel healer. My mission here is to do my part to heal the heart of the divine masculine and the sacred feminine through conscious love using the sound bowl healing, the Akashic Star Child Tarot, the Moonology Oracles, Beyond Lemuria Oracles, and the Four Agreements Oracles. And if you're a returning family and friend, thank you, beloveds. Welcome back. I always appreciate when you come on and join me to support. And if you have not already joined my Vibe Tribe, make sure you subscribe and be a part of our mission here, and hit that notification bell so you can always know whenever I go live. And if you haven't already done so, hit that like button on your way in or out. All right. So as we begin, we're going to tune into what kind of frequencies, what kind of messages might want to come through the heart chakra frequency. And if you would like to join, whatever downloads might come through, whatever sensations and emotions might come up, just allow it to be. We'll see what Spirit has to say for us all through my channeling for this collective. You can place your hand on your heart, close your eyes, and take a deep breath. I'm hearing Spirit invite us. I'm hearing learning how to appreciate how far you've come, learning to appreciate where you've come, learning to appreciate where you are and how far you've come and where you are now and who you've become and who you are becoming. What has been healed and realigned, what has been awakened and answered, the prayers that you have called out, cried out, have we stopped and reflected on all of those prayers and prayers and cries that have been answered, or are we still only focusing on what has not been answered, you know? I think that is where we are shifting our mentality, our mindset out of lack and scarcity into abundance and fear, out of fear and doubt and into trust and love. You know, I feel like those are the same frequencies, right? Lack and scarcity comes from the energy of fear and doubt, whereas abundance comes from the energy of trust and love. And as we're moving on this road to conscious love, as we're moving through healing our heart chakra, our sacral chakras, and awakening and aligning with our Kundalini rising into our true authentic self, our divine being, it is important to acknowledge the blessings, the beauties, the pleasures, the joys, the bliss, and most importantly, the answers that we have been asking for. It have may not be all of the answers being that have been requested, but that's okay. It doesn't mean it's not coming. But if all of our prayers were answered at the same time, we wouldn't know what to do with it. We have to expand our frequency to be able to hold the capacity of the blessings that we are requesting. Because have you ever had a blessing come through, a prayer answered, and you were not at the capacity to be able to hold that blessing? For instance, last year when my car broke down, my mother helped me get into a new car. And that car was a car that I had a hard time receiving. And I refused it at first. I said, I don't want this car. When maybe there's a better car. I don't know if it's worth the investment of this car. You know, there are all these things, right? But really underlyingly, I was still operating from a place of lack, feeling like I wasn't good enough or worthy of receiving this car, right? I didn't earn it. I didn't work for it. I didn't buy it. Like all these things that were like telling me I was not ready to receive it. So when the car did come through, it didn't even take 5 hours. It didn't even take 5 minutes before I left my mother's house. Before the car was hit by a speeding driver and completely totaled. Y'all, that is a perfect example of not being in the full capacity, not being able to hold the capacity of the frequency that we are asking to be in, of the blessings that we are praying for. I had to shift my mindset. I had to expand my frequency. I had to be able to strengthen my capacity to hold such blessing in order for me to fully be able to receive it. Have you ever also prayed for a partner or a divine lover, and then that divine lover comes in, but then they leave right back as soon as they come? It feels so fleeting, right? What did I have to learn when I kept asking myself, what is going on, right? It was because there was a blockage in my ability, my capacity to hold love, to receive love, to believe that I was worthy of the love that I was praying and seeking. It's not that. God doesn't hear you. The universe is granting your wishes the moment you even exude that energy of desire. But it's the amount of how we are allowing ourselves to receive it. If we're asking for something but only focusing on where it's not, that's all we can see. But if we're asking for something and we believe that it's already here, we believe that it's inevitably coming because our desires are one with source energy, then that puts us in this receptivity to hold space. And then when it comes, what is normal? Well, not normal. I shouldn't say normal. Spirit said not normal. It's not normal. It might be normal, but it's not healthy. We've gotten into a bad habit as a collective to criticize the blessings that come in, basically slapping God in the face. We ask for it, God delivers, and then we slap back in the face. He said, "Thank you, gracious, omnipresent, divine, but no thank you." And we don't realize we're doing it, but have you ever experienced a blessing that came through or something? Let's even just say a simple example of, ladies, I'm going to just pick on our ladies for a second, but I know that our gentlemen also have this experience. But have you ever waited for a text message all day, all night, wondering, why isn't this fool texting me back? Right? There's that blockage already, right? Already criticizing this beloved that you already prayed into your existence. Instead of being grateful that this person is in your existence, you like, where is he, right? Focusing on where he is not, or she, right? And when that text message does come through, have you ever experienced that you get so excited that a text message comes through, but then you find yourself criticizing and dissecting every single word, every single sentence? Come on now. And then finding fault in how they responded. Oh, they finally responded, but why they gotta respond like that? They don't seem very excited when they responded in that way. So it's not even good enough still. Y'all, why do we do this? Because our capacity is not at a frequency that can sustain and maintain what it is that we are praying and asking and seeking and waiting for. That is where it comes from, the energy of fear and doubt, the criticism, the judgment, the lack mentality of it's still not enough. And that is also a projection from how we feel internally about ourselves, because we can only attract what it is that we hold in our own vibrational collective frequency, our own personal frequency. Just something to ponder on, reflect on, meditate on, maybe even journal about, and be honest. Be compassionate with this honest reflection. Doesn't make you a bad person. It's just that we have adopted some unhealthy habits. And that's why we're here, breaking these generational ties of disempowering beliefs and agreements and conditionings. That's why we are here on the road to conscious love. That's why it is our mission here to heal the heart, right, of the divine masculine and the sacred feminine through conscious love. so that we can break those chains of feelings of unworthiness, of guilt, of not feeling like we are allowed to experience the utmost pleasures of life's blessings and beauties and benefits. That we're breaking this false agreement that we don't deserve abundance, that we don't deserve what it is that we truly desire. So it's easier to just try not to desire it because it hurts too bad to believe that we just won't get what we want. Allow yourself to shift. Give yourself permission to desire what it is that your soul is requesting and to give yourself permission to believe that it is already written in the stars for you. That it is. It wouldn't be placed on your heart if it wasn't. That's why we all have different passions. That's why we all are attracted to different people for the most part. That's why we have our own creative outlets, our own different likes and dislikes, because that is what is written on our soul blueprint. That's really beautiful, Spirit. I appreciate that. Thank you. I received that message too. Mm. Sometimes I feel like the whole daily divine message is just through the heart chakra, 20-minute heart chakra download. But let's see what the Akashic Star Child Tarot might have to either confirm or give us another, message for this week. Our last full week of May. Already. I keep saying that already. Let's see here. So we have the tower that's coming through for this energy of this week. And I'm seeing this as a tower of awakening, a tower of enlightenment. When we expand our consciousness, when we start to evolve into more conscious beings, when we start realigning, remembering our true, authentic soul blueprint, there can be a tower because we are releasing the false agreements, the false beliefs, these conditionings, these karmic toxic patterns that we have believed was our truth for so long. And that can be a bit shaky. It can because the foundation is faulty, so the whole building is falling. So that you can rebuild a new building with a stronger foundation. Yep. Look at that with the transformation, perspective, and wheel of fortune. These two aren't even in the tarot. And then we have a major arcana of the wheel of fortune literally written in the stars. Your transformation is shifting perspective. You are shifting, confirmation of what I just said, shifting your perspective out of lack and into abundance, out of fear and into love, out of doubt and into trust. Because you are the divine creator of co-creator with source, with gracious, omnipresent, divine God. This is your journey. I'm hearing this is your freedom. I'm hearing this is your time. I'm hearing it's time for your transformation. It's time for the paradigm shift. It's time to start living in your truth. It's time to start living in your soul's blueprint. It's really beautiful. And even if that causes some upheaval internally, maybe you feel like there's like a lot of conflict now. You feel like you're conflicting yourself. You might feel like what you used to like, you don't like anymore. Yeah, that's because the Eight of Swords is out here. Because mentally you're feeling stuck because there's a new portal that's awakening, opening up for you, but it's so different than what you've always known. So it can rattle you, it can shake you up a little, and you can start second guessing, feeling like you're contradicting yourself. But what's happening is you might be having what I'm hearing for some is a imposter syndrome. Maybe you feel like that right now because your ego is losing its grip, its control. The ego is that false perception, persona, identity that has been created for your survival, for your emotional survival. Just like our brain keeps our body, will do anything to keep our body physically alive. But it's not meant to keep us happy. Our brain is meant to keep us alive. Our ego is not meant necessarily to keep us aligned with our true authentic self. It's meant to keep us safe in the perception of how it sees safe, emotional safety from judgment or criticism or disapproval or exile, from abandonment or rejection. If you've been wounded in these emotional ways, right? This is why we're healing our heart chakra, right? This is why we're healing our sacral chakra, because the divine feminine and masculine, that's where they store their wounds, where we store our wounds, because we all carry the feminine masculine energy. But when our heart is blocked because of emotional wounding, what do? The ego creates this persona, which is basically a shield, an armor to protect from being wounded again. So then they say, you know what? I'm just either not going to put myself in a vulnerable position ever again, which means I'm never going to open my heart up to love again, because if I do, I might get hurt again. And I don't know if I can do that again. Right? So they tell themselves to believe that love is off the table. Love is not even existent. Love is whatever, right? If you've been wounded in the sacral chakra, if your sensuality, your sexuality, your creativity in any way, shape, or form has been wounded, violated, mistreated, the ego is going to create a protection armor and say, you know what, I'm just going to block myself off from all vulnerable, intimacies. Whether that's the intimacy within myself to really dig deep into my own creative drive, or whether it's this intimacy with another. But what's happening is you're transforming, you're shifting that perspective, because the Wheel of Fortune is saying that's not what you're here for. That's not what you're made for. I'm hearing Billie Eilish, the song she wrote for the Barbie movie. What was I made for? What was I made for? And what did the Barbie movie teach us too? She realized, she awakened, she realized that she was made for so much more. And what happened? It was a huge tower moment for her because she became awakened to a whole different world, right? The human world, and how different it was than the Barbie world, right? She realized, oh my gosh, I've been in this box, I've been in this bubble. But in this other world, it's a complete opposite. And she realized, what am I made for? There are a million different types of Barbies. I'm just the original Barbie, but I want to be more than just this original Barbie. Because now what I thought was empowering for women, for girls, has now been deemed down to such a small, objectification to the point where girls don't look up to Barbie anymore, right? So maybe you got to watch the Barbie movie because that's what's coming through. Because that's a much more empowering, deeper movie than we think, right? And it makes us even realize that Barbie's history is deeper than we thought. But the Barbie evolution went through so many different transformations from just this original cute, body Barbie that was this idolized figurine that made women and girls think that they have to look like this, blondes and hourglass shapes and, busty. And then Barbie transformed and evolved. There are all sorts of different Barbies that were meant to try to empower girls to that they can be whatever they want to be. And I think that that is what is being brought up to this surface for the divine feminine and the divine feminines in this chat, but also not just the divine feminines. It doesn't matter. Divine masculines as well, because we're all awakening. We're all recognizing it's not just for girls and women, boys and men, or however you identify. You're awakening to your true, authentic self. You're shifting a perspective. And so, in order to do so, you need to make a practical plan for those dreams that you have in mind. Okay? You might have a Taurus moon, full moon in Taurus, but they do. They need a practical plan. Here, I'm going to move these over like this. What is it that you are transforming? What perspective is shifting? What is it that is truly written in the stars for your soul? What is it that your heart and soul deeply desires to show up in this world to create this portal that is opening for you to walk through? What does that look like? And how can you create a plan to be able to walk through it? How can you? Look, the star. I'm glad that I opened. Spirit told me to lift this up to see what's underneath this. The star. Your dreams. That's what's on the other side of this portal. That's what you're walking into. Your wish, your ultimate wish. Aquarius energy, Sagittarius energy, Libra energy with this Queen of Swords. You're finding the discernment, you're finding the balance between your mind, your heart, the practicality, the left brain of rationality and the right brain of creativity, and you're learning how to be able to listen to both your emotions, let your emotions drive you. This could be love driven. This could be love that is on your wish. Whatever is emotionally fulfilling for you, how can you create a practical plan that hears your heart's desires? I'm hearing like a practical map, roadmap, blueprint. And of course, it's not like if I do this and I'll get love this way. No, it's not necessarily in that way. But the practical plan of how can you align yourself to the capacity, to the frequency? How can you align yourself to the frequency of love with the Nine of Cups and the Lovers here? How can you expand your capacity to hold more love without hitting a ceiling of, or a blockage or a wall of doubt and fear? How can you truly fully merge into one with your divine counterpart and allow yourself to receive the incoming offerings of romance that wants to come through, as well as of abundance with this Ace of Crystals and the Six of Crystals underneath that of balanced reciprocity? How can you also both offer and receive? How can you give and receive the love that it is that you seek, holding the space? It's not just about what can you give to me. Look, it's about a win-win outcome. It's about how can we balance each other? How can we both equally give and receive this unconditional, conscious, divine love to each other, for each other, with each other, to ourselves, for ourselves, with ourselves, together? What does that look like? What does that look like for you? I like that win-win outcome. Full moon in Libra. I was just thinking about the Wheel of Fortune the other day, and I was like, we haven't seen the Wheel of Fortune in a while come out, and I love that here it is. Because this is your, and what I was hearing with that was that the Wheel of Fortune is, it's your soul, it's your soul plan. I know I keep saying this, it's soul wisdom. But it's also this real recognition, acknowledgement that you are just as responsible for the outcome, win-win outcome in your life. You are just as responsible for this transformation. It's not just about waiting for the universe, God, Jah, Allah, however you want to call it, to bring you what you want. Like from what we were talking about earlier in the heart chakra download. How are you also showing up, giving, receiving a Six of Pentacles, Libra energy? You need to also come up with a practical plan. How do you want to show up in your relationships? Who do you want to be in your relationships? What does a healthy relationship look like for you? What does a win-win outcome where a mutually beneficial outcome and relationship look like for you? And be honest with yourself. And how have you been showing up in the past? And how do you want to transform to, how do you need to transform in order to match this win-win outcome, this dream, this wish that you are already divinely blessed with? How can you open yourself up to receive that? Align yourself up to hold it, hold space for it, maintain space for it for longer than 5 minutes is what I'm hearing. Like you're stepping through. There's that transformation again. You are stepping through. You're stepping through. The lotus is the flower that grows in muddy, murky water. You are coming out of that muddy, murky water as a flower. And the lotus flower resembles infinite possibilities, infinite transformation. I'm seeing the Om symbol of the crown chakra in my mind's eye. Wow, look at these two cards. Reclaim your energy, y'all. This is the time. All of this is just triple, quadruple confirmations. Reclaim your energy. This is your time. This is your desire. This is what has been divinely blessed and ordained and written in the stars for you. Para ti. Look, we have the violet flame and harmonic flight. 5229 might be a significant number, 42 or 6, 7. I just heard my son go 6, 7, 11, 2. These might be some soul path numbers. However, what I'm seeing with this violet flame and the harmonic flight, I love actually, these are my favorite cards. These are, to me, the twin flame cards, the divine love, the divine merging. Izzy Ivy talks about the harmonic flight when she painted this drawing. It was in regards to the twin flame journey. If you're familiar with that verbiage, if you're not, it's like your divine counterpart. It's like a higher, I'm trying to, there's not really a word for it, but it's like a soulmate, but deeper, deeper. It's like a higher level of soulmate. It's like soul. It's not even soulmate. It's not a mate to your soul. It's your soul frequency in a divine counterpart, if that makes sense to you. But she talks about how the journey of this twin flame road to conscious love, however you want to call it, it's about raising your own self frequency to the highest level of love, right? Gracious, omnipresent, divine love. It's about merging with your true, authentic self and being on the journey with your counterpart as they do the same. And in that space, in that flight, you both become the best version of you, the the version of you, the being that you are, the being that you came here to be, the soul that you embodied in a human vessel, and the journey, experience that you agreed to encounter on this beautiful human road. The violet flame, she paints this card as a reminder that as we are moving through these transformational periods, portals into our higher selves, our true, authentic, divine selves, we also will need to stay rooted. It takes a lot of spiritual hygiene, spiritual strength, spiritual, what are the words that are coming through? It's like it's like a spiritual strength that you need to hold in order to be able to hold this harmonic counterpartship, right? In order for your win-win outcome, in order for that deep desire, that wish fulfillment to come through, in order for your dreams to emerge into your physical experience, you have to both remain grounded as well as untethered. And that can seem like it makes no sense to some, to the practical brain, right? To the human brain. But you have to be unattached as well as so confident that you expect the win-win outcome. So that means you expect it, which means no matter how long it takes, or if it doesn't come in the exact way that we see it or have planned it, that we don't give up, get into our head with the Eight of Swords, that we don't feel like we're stuck, or that we don't go back to the doubt and the fear, because we trust so much, right? There's that faith energy of believing in something so much that you don't have to see it to know it's true, to know it's coming, to know it's here, to know it's yours. And that's what helps you with being able to play and live unattached. To be able to live your life to the fullest, to be able to desire all these dreams, no matter how absurd it might seem to someone else. But to believe it, to believe in this love, to believe in the fairy tale, to believe in the fantasy, to believe in your dream. Thank you so much. No matter who can see it, your soul can see it, because it's your wheel of fortune. It's written for you. That's why it's important for you to reclaim your energy. Don Miguel Ruiz says, look at this. Don't take anything personally, the second agreement, and release self-judgment. Don't take anything personally by releasing self-judgment around this journey of yours, around how you are unfolding and expanding and awakening, around how you are transforming. Even the opinions you have about yourself aren't always necessarily true. Therefore, you don't need to take whatever you hear in your own mind, Eight of Swords, personally, because that mental stuckness, mental trap, the mental stuckness, she feels that she is stuck, but she could just walk right into that portal. But when your mind has these limiting beliefs, this is the card for limiting beliefs. Self-judgment is just a limiting belief that you are not enough, not worthy, not whatever. The self-judgment around where you've been and what other people might, these are all projected judgments onto you that you have now formed a belief around, that you've agreed to. And the Four Agreements is helping us, guiding us, teaching us, showing us how to release those false agreements by not taking anything personally, even our own stinking thinking, even our own self-criticism and self-judgment. Because Abraham Hicks says you can't get it wrong. Because you'll never get it done, because we are constantly transforming and evolving and expanding and reclaiming more and more of our true authentic self, more and more of our energy, more and more of our divine beingness. So the first agreement says, be impeccable with your word. Realize the power of your word. That's why it's so important to release that self-judgment. Your word is the power that you have to create. It is a gift that comes directly from God, the gracious, omnipresent, divine. So that's why it's so important to stay in the present moment. It's so important to release self-judgment and to be mindful, shift that perspective of what is coming through your mind. The lack, the fear, the doubts, the criticism. And choose to transform your mind, choose to train your brain, choose to shift your perspective. It's not going to be easy, and it's not going to be something that's just going to naturally, if you've been practicing this kind of, you know, scarcity, limiting, disempowering mindset for a long time, for years, decades. You're not going to change overnight. But what you can do is you can start the shifting of the perspective. You can start the transformation right now. And you might notice a change overnight. But you have to remember that you have to keep, that's where the violet flame is. You have to keep spiritual practices in line. You have to maintain a spiritual routine so that you can stay connected with Source. That's, daily devotions, daily affirmations, whatever practices that help you with staying aligned. I like to read daily devotions and affirmations. I like to pray and meditate. I like to do my little 5 minutes of happiness, of stretching and journaling gratitudes and praying, whatever I have to do to get me back into alignment, to get because my mind knows how to try to spiral, is really good at it too. Because I've had a lot of practice in my lifetime of all these limiting beliefs. So I'm right here with y'all. That's why we're here together. That's why we are here together to heal the heart of the divine masculine and the sacred feminine. Through conscious love, we're all on this road. We're all in this harmonic flight. We are all here with each other, for each other, to rise and reclaim what is rightfully ours, what is written in the stars for you and me and us and we, and to not forget it. I'm curious what's underneath this. Lumen essence. Yes, your heart is awakening. Let the vibration, let the frequency of that heart chakra heal and awaken and align, and remember. Remember just how beautiful and perfect you are. Not because of what you've done, not because of what you've earned, not because of what you look like, but because of who you are, beloved. See the full spectrum. See the full spectrum. Let your entire chakra energetic system awaken from above to below, from the heavens to earth, and everything in between. You are the bridge. I love it. I love it. This is very beautiful. This is a beautiful message. I hope this resonates with you as well. I trust that whoever needed to hear this message received this message. And if it does sit with you and help you in whatever chapter you are in your life right now, whatever path, whatever road you're on in this beautiful journey of conscious love, make sure you honor where you are, where you've come from, how far you've come. Okay? And make sure you hit that like button as well. You can also make sure you join my Vibe Tribe and subscribe to my channel so we can continue on this journey. And until next time, I'll see you guys in the next moon. Thank you so much for being here. Take care of yourself this week. Peace and love. Namaste. Bye.